Today I'm going to be trying some tie-dye patterns out. Some simple, some complicated.
What are you trying to make me do, quantum physics or something?
And even some reverse tie-dye patterns. Also, I really wanted to try putting food coloring tie-dye to the test and see if it really holds up. In this video, we'll just be using a ton of stuff that you can find laying around your house to do tie-dye. This is really cheap to do, and you really only need a few materials. I went around to a ton of different stores like Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Walmart, Target, Kmart, whatever. And literally all the tie-dye kits were out of stock in every single place.
But mama didn't raise no quitter.
So we're going to be doing tie-dye with food coloring and bleach instead. If you're new here, you should consider selling your soul to me by subscribing to my channel.
I love when he gives me that look.
Don't forget to hit that bell icon and select the all option. You have to select all or I'll be lost on the internet
Forever.
I post new videos
Every Friday.
Alright, let's get into it.
I did pick up these white t-shirts. You have to make sure they're not anything synthetic like polyester or something. That won't absorb the dye very well. You could see that these right here are 100% cotton. Only the purest of pure things. The first thing that we've got to do before we really get started here is wash the shirts. Apparently if you don't wash them, the food coloring won't stick to them as well.
Oh, hey.
The next thing we have to do is get a big bowl or a bucket or whatever you have lying around to pour the white vinegar into. Make sure you're using distilled white vinegar for this part. I'm also going to mix in a little water with the white vinegar. I found some different sources saying different amounts of water are required, but I'm just going to do kind of a 75% vinegar and 25% water ratio. I could really go for a good salad right now. Once you have all the vinegar and water mixed up, you're going to just put the shirts in there and give them a little bath. Rubber ducky, you're the one. You make bath time lots of fun. Just a little side note, I'm a weirdo and I don't really mind the smell of vinegar, so I'm doing this inside, but you should probably do this outside. This is just going to prepare the fabric for the dye, which in this case is food coloring. After the shirt is thoroughly wet with the vinegar stuff, you're just going to take a few water bottles and poke some holes with a pin in the top lid thing. You're going to want to put a little bit of water in the bottle, and I'm going to squeeze a lot of food coloring in here because I'm not sure how vibrant the colors are going to come out with the food coloring. You can always add some more water if you run out of it too. Now that that stuff's ready to go, we're just going to take the shirt out of the vinegar and wring it out. What you're going to do now is kind of lay the shirt flat and twist it up. You can really do this however you want. There's a ton of different guides and designs that you can do. It's kind of an anarchy out there. There's no rules. For the first one, I'm going to do a striped tie-dye design. I wanted to start off simple. He'll learn what 2 plus 2 is, just give him some time. Starting at one side, I'm going to fold back and forth in an accordion fold. Now that it's all rolled up, you can take out some rubber bands and start tying them around the shirt. You want them to be pretty tight on here.
That's pretty tight, I like it.
I'm going to use a good amount of rubber bands for this. I used to be that kid in middle school who flung rubber bands at people. They'd get so annoyed. I don't recommend it. Now that we've got the rubber bands on there, we can start spraying or squirting or whatever the food coloring on them. For the first couple of shirts, I'm going to do mainly red and purple because they're some of my favorite colors. Remember, we are using food coloring, so the colors may not be super vibrant. Okay, I think I've got enough purple stripes on there. Let's add a few red stripes, and then what I'm going to do is take the shirt and wrap it up real tight in some saran wrap and leave that dye to soak in for at least 8 hours. I watched a couple of YouTube videos on how to do this, and now I'm pretty much an expert. To be honest, I'm probably going to leave these overnight just to be on the safe side. Pretty sure the more time it sits like this, the better the colors will turn out. For this part, we're going to do 2 tie-dye shirts with a skull design in the middle, just in case one of them doesn't turn out right. I'm going to wring it out and lay it flat. Don't want any wrinkles. I heard that laughing causes wrinkles. It makes me feel so evil when I make you guys laugh. This part here is optional. I'm going to make a little stencil for the skull. If you're comfortable with it, you don't even have to do this and you could just draw the skull right onto the shirt. That's totally up to you. You could see that I've got the shirt folded in half here. You're also going to fold the stencil in half and then place it on top of the shirt and trace around it in washable marker. I'm then going to just draw where the eyes, nose, and mouth are on here. Now I just have to rubber band the eye and the nose. The idea here is to pull up this little mountain of fabric and keep the line with the marker as straight as possible all the way around.
Uppity.
Now that I have the nose and eyes done, I'm just going to take this thing and tie that up and do whatever I want to it. And just kind of pleat around it while trying my best to keep that line that I made with the marker as straight as possible. This part was pretty hard, I'm not going to lie. Now you're just going to take your dye or food coloring or whatever you're using and put it on the nose, mouth, and eye part that's sticking up there. For the rest of the shirt outside the skull, I'm going to do another red stripe kind of look. Okay, let's put this one aside and I'm going to do the other skull shirt real quick off screen. For this next one, I'm going to try and make the Illuminati eye.
Illuminati confirmed.
I'm going to use some purple and some neon pink. For this one, I just kind of decided to eyeball it. Now I'm going to start on the inside and work my way out. First, I'll tie up the pupil. Remember, you want all the pleats and the line to be as straight as possible before rubber banding it. Now I'm going to pleat the outer eye and just push the excess fabric up to make sort of a mountain thing, and then rubber band that too. After that, I'll add some more rubber bands to the shirt like so, and then add some color. Also, you probably noticed that I'm not wearing gloves for this part. I advise that you just wear gloves.
Hello there. Thank you so much for liking and leaving a comment on the video. Oh wait, what's that? You haven't liked the video or left a comment yet? Well, maybe you should, because if you don't, you'll find a hair in your spaghetti.
For the last two white shirts, I'm going to do some spirals. The first one I'm going to twist in the middle like this so it only comes out with one spiral. Don't twist it too hard. And I'm going to just use one color here. I figured we could use blue since we haven't done that yet. For the next one, I'm going to try and do two spirals. I'm going to just kind of do the same twisting motion, but in two different spots. And this one is going to be green and yellow. Okay, now let's do one more shirt. This one's going to be a special one. I honestly am not too big of a fan of regular tie-dye with all the colors and stuff.
Ew.
But I do really like reverse tie-dye. I think it looks pretty cool. So that's what we're going to try. You're basically going to do the same thing as regular tie-dye, except instead of dye or food coloring, you're going to use bleach. This is the household object tie-dye video. Nothing fancy here. This cap is a little too thick, so you know what? Let's just drill through it. I figured we could use this one for the reverse tie-dye. This is just an old drum-related shirt that I have. I used to play the drums a lot. I want to do another spiral. This time I'm going to kind of section it off a bit more and then squirt the bleach into like two of these opposing sides, I guess you could say. This one was pretty cool to watch because you could slowly see the shirt changing color because of the bleach. Very satisfying. You're going to want to leave this shirt sitting there with the bleach on it for about 10 minutes. You don't want to leave it there too long though because the bleach will destroy the fabric if you leave it there long enough. So after you've waited about 10 minutes, just go ahead and put your gloves back on and pick this thing back up, then take it to a tub or a sink and really wash it out, and then throw it in the washing machine. Then just throw it right in the dryer, and after that, your reverse tie-dye shirt should be done. Here are all of the food coloring tie-dye shirts that I made today together, and we're just going to leave them to sit overnight and we'll unwrap them in the morning. It's kinda like Christmas. Oh, by the way, just a little disclaimer. I'm not a professional, and I just wanted to try this out for fun, so we'll see how they turned out. Alrighty, so we waited overnight, and now we're gonna unwrap these and see how they turned out. Here's the green and yellow one up first. This one actually turned out pretty cool. It's giving me like lemon lime soda vibes. I like that.
It's a little fizzy in my wizzy.
This one here is the striped one. This one kind of looks like the Northern Lights almost to me, and it's interesting how the purple kind of turned into blue as it faded. Yeah. Now here we've got skull number 1.
Infinity.
Oh dear. Yeah, I might have bit off a little bit more than I could chew by doing this skull design. It was pretty ambitious of me. Here is the second skull. And yep, just as I expected, it does not look good. It kinda almost looks like Mickey Mouse or something. Can you guys see that? I'm a complete failure! Here we've got the blue spiral one, and this might be my favorite one so far. I just like how simple it is, and I think the spiral turned out really cool actually. Next up, we have the Illuminati eye, and I think this one turned out okay. I mean, you can kind of tell it's an eye, right? sort of.
No.
These are all still pretty damp, so I'm just going to leave them to dry. Now remember, this is food coloring, so I don't know what's going to happen if you try washing these. This might be a one-time kind of deal, but I'm just going to leave these like they are and let them dry.
Okay guys, so here's the reverse tie-dye shirt. I figured I'd just wear this one. I do really like the way this one turned out a lot. It's definitely more evil. Remember, this used to be an entirely black shirt. I actually have a few reverse tie-dye shirts already, so it was really fun to make one myself. Don't forget to come back next Friday.
Hello again. If you liked and commented, thank you. If you haven't, I suggest you be extra careful when you close your eyes tonight.